All right. Peace, family. Peace to the gods. Welcome in. Yo, got a real serious message for people, and this is for the mental health space, which I love, which is so key, so important. You know, I've been thinking about family. A lot of us, our family is crazy as hell. And a lot of times, your family will put you through hell. Your family will put you through the unthinkable, right? And it's crazy to believe that your own family would do you the worst. Your own family will neglect you while the rest of the world supports you. Um, your own family will put you through most of the abuse you'll go through. Um, and then you'll find sometimes people that's outside of your family, people that you went to school with, people that you met at some jobs, people that you just meet in the world through social media, that'll just really give you the sense of family that you always thought you should have had with your real family, right? Um, they try to dim your light. For a lot of y'all, it started with your family, right? Your family oftentimes can be the ones to create these characters, they assign these identities in the family. So some of y'all might be the scapegoat, the one to blame, the one to attack, the one to abuse, the one to deny or reject. Some people in the family are put as the chosen one or like the star, and they try to assign these different roles to stabilize the family, right? Um, and so, peace, bro. And so, a lot of times your own family could undermine you. If you have certain potential, if you have a certain talent, if your family sees that you're smart, you're intelligent, that you have certain gifts and qualities, a lot of times your family will do you dirty, and it's really wicked, it's evil when you think about it. Your family will undermine you to try to dim your light. So if you're in school, right, and you get really good grades, or you're talented, or you're naturally a good speaker, you're physically gifted. Some of y'all may be really beautiful or handsome. So you know what your family will do in these toxic family environments? Your family will try to undermine you. They will try to reject you. They will try to dismiss you. They will try to undermine your confidence growing up. So they'll get together and have certain talks without you. They'll talk down to you or abuse you. They'll give so much attention to other people in the family, and then you'll be sitting there kind of within your own family, within your own household, feel like an outsider because they're always pushing you to the side or rejecting you. And this is all an attempt to lower your self-worth, to lower your self-esteem, to make you feel insecure about yourself. So you'll start saying, damn, what's wrong with me? Why? I feel like everybody else in the family gets support. Everybody else in the family get love. Everybody else in the family gets attended to. But you're sit there, it's almost like you're a homeless person walking into this house. It's like you don't even exist to your own family. You know why they do this? It's an attempt to dim your light. It's called discrimination. That's a fact. Your family will discriminate against you. Your family will try to outcast you, push you to the side because you have certain qualities and traits that they don't have. So it's resentment, it's envy, it's animosity, it's jealousy, it's insecurity because they saying to themselves, yo, how are we just regular? How are we just one way? How are we just kind of normal? And this person in the family that just came in, you young, you have all these qualities. It's almost like you don't belong to your family because you shine bright. You might have a brighter personality. You might walk into a room and know how to use your personality to shift the room and you draw a lot of attention. But your family members, some of them lack that charisma. So they hate you for your light. They hate you for your potential. They hate you for your ability to naturally do the things that they work so hard to do but can't. Right? It's hate. It's hateful, man. It's discriminatory. It is discrimination. Right? I don't know what's happening or where I am. I'm reading a comment real quick because I like to engage as I go. I don't know where I am. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm looking at an incredibly handsome man with beautiful, commanding voice. It's honestly impossible not to be drawn in. Greetings overseas. Peace. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So we're talking about family dynamics. We're talking about the toxicities in family, how your own family could try to destroy you, lower your self-worth, make you feel insecure about yourself before you can go into the world and really actualize your potential. So again, if you have a talent, you might be very gifted. You might have great energy growing up. You might be a bright light. When I was growing up, I used to laugh a lot. That was one I could never stop laughing. You could say anything, I'll start laughing. And you could look at me, the room could be dead silence. And you could turn and look at me and say, water. And I'll just start bust. I was just it's good to be an immature kid because that's when you're supposed to be immature and laugh and curious and play with things and explore and express your ideas and be curious about the world and express humor, right? But I would just be this naturally like attentive kid. Not that I wanted attention, even though nothing's wrong with attention, but I just thought a lot of things were so interesting. I thought a lot of things were really funny. So sometimes your family will envy that about you because when they grew up, they didn't have that bright light or that personality. You might be very handsome or pretty, so your family could be so envious of that, so they'll do this. They'll ignore you. They'll dismiss you. If you have an accomplishment or you achieve something, they'll try to downplay it and not celebrate you as much. So you'll start to feel like, hey, isn't this good? I just did this great project in school. I just went out and did this great, I worked so hard to accomplish this, but your family don't really say nothing to you. The rest of the people out there in the world, your friends, your peers, everyone else at school, they may acknowledge you, but your own family is almost like they don't want to celebrate you. You know why? Because it's not that they don't actually see you worthy of the celebration. They see what you did is good, but they don't celebrate you because it's resentment. They're discriminating against you. They're trying to dim your light. They want you to question yourself to say, man, why nobody celebrate me? Why my own mother not celebrating me? Why my own father not, encouraging me and celebrate me? Isn't this good? I thought this was good. I got a good grade for it. The rest of my classmates, they applauded me. Why my own family, it's almost like they ignore me. And it's designed to put you in a place of self-doubt, right? Got you working in insecurities, lower your self-worth, and to make you feel like nothing you do is enough. They want you to feel like you're not enough. They want you to feel like something's wrong with you and you need to work and adjust yourself or please them or even be almost like desperate to seek their approval. A lot of y'all, that's why you grew up with low self-worth, low self-esteem, insecurities about yourself. That doesn't come from the world. That comes from the very people who begin to start raising you. That comes from your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, the first human beings that you have immediate relationships with. That's the people that kind of shape these feelings, your self-worth and all these things. So your family would ignore you. They'll dismiss you. They'll make fun of you. Some of y'all families mocked y'all and made fun of y'all. Told y'all would never be nothing in life. You might as well go sign up and get a job at the Walmart. I'm not knocking nobody that work at Walmart, but I'm saying as a kid, when you growing up and you have dreams and aspirations and you're full of so much light and life and potential and talents and gifts, your family shouldn't try to be knocking you down and subjecting you to work the rest of your life at Walmart. Some of y'all family told you you're gonna work the rest of your life in McDonald's. Why would they say that to you? Why would you say that to somebody that's in middle school, that just started high school? Why would you say that? Because it's designed to discourage you. because your family, they saw your potential, but they never wanted you to see it. They saw your light. They saw your abilities. They saw a lot of y'all intelligent. A lot of y'all are pretty gifted, right? A lot of y'all have a bright light, a bright personality. You might be naturally talented at a lot of things, but they'll say these negative things to you to discourage you. So you can feel like, man, maybe I'm not that good. Maybe I'm not that talented. Maybe I can't, maybe I'm not good enough to go to school. Maybe I'm not that smart. Maybe I should just settle to work at Walmart. Maybe I should just settle to work at McDonald's. Maybe I should just settle to work at that convenience store. That's why a lot of people grow up and they eat and they eat and they eat and they go to work and come home and they don't really know how to love themselves. They don't know how to really look in the mirror and love what they see. That's because their image has been tainted. Their image has been cracked. Their image, how you look at yourself, your self-identity, what you see in yourself has been broken. So now when you look in the mirror, you're seeing the same things your family saw, which is nothing. But underneath that, you're beautiful. Underneath that, you're amazing. Underneath that, you have all this potential. You have all this talent. You have so many abilities, but your family try to beat it out of you by rejecting you, by trying to lower your self-esteem, by talking down to you, by abusing you. Some of y'all been verbally abused, emotionally abused, financially abused, sexually abused. That was designed to break you. That person, ladies, if there was somebody in your family that sexually, SA'd you, I'm going to say the whole thing. I don't know if you two going to shut me down, but if there was somebody in your family that SA'd you, an uncle, some of y'all is even your own father, or how sick the world is. A lot of times it's not about pleasure. It's about power, and it's about an attempt to break you and make you dependent on the person that had that power over you, right? These people that abuse you in all these different ways, it was designed to make them have this forever lifelong power over you, so that you won't come into your own power, so that you won't have your own sense of identity, because they try to take your power away from you by abusing you, by degrading you, by essaying you, by whatever it is, right? All this is designed to break your spirit so that you would, for the rest of your life, live in these moments. How many people still living in the past? A lot of adults, right? A lot of adults, I realize, are like broken children. A lot of adults that I meet, you would think that everybody above the age of 21 or 25, whatever, or 18, right? You'll think everyone is an adult. But so many adults that I meet, quote unquote adults, 30, 35, 40-year-old, 50-year-old that I've met are literally still children. A lot of people still kids, bro. And it's like they're still living in that place of being a child because they're traumatized. And a lot of times, because they're still living in those traumas, they'll try to hurt people. You know, the saying goes, hurt people hurt people. So they'll go around trying to be a bully. They'll go around trying to mistreat people so they could get a sense of power. They want to break somebody else so they could feel strong. They want to lower somebody else so they could feel high, right? They want to try to break somebody's confidence so they could build their self-esteem. That's because these people are broken. So they're going to try to break you. Or a lot of y'all in that space too, where you realize the things that how you treated people wasn't really too good. That's because you operate in brokenness. But it all started in a household with your family. So I'm saying this to really get people to go back and deal with themselves, go through a phase of self-evaluation. Just look at the things that some of us try to run away from them. Some of us try to distract ourselves, play video games, smoke, drink all day, hang out outside. A lot of times this is designed to distract us from the things that we're really dealing with. And a lot of people don't like talking about this because this really requires you to really sit down and face yourself and deal with your wounds, deal with your demons, right? And it takes courage to do that because it's a lot of pain in these experiences because a lot of y'all been through some trauma. A lot of y'all been through some shit. And it's like, damn, yo, like, you don't even want to go to therapy. Some of y'all been to therapy for years, but still nothing changed. You still the same person because the therapist is really prolonging the issues. Your therapist is really sitting there and y'all just going back and forth, but y'all not really attacking or going towards the truth. Because to work towards the truth is painful. The truth hurts, right? The truth hurts, man. And so when you go back and look at these situations with how you was treated by your mother, your relationship with your father, the neglect or the abuse, the trauma, right? In that is so many of your current issues that you're dealing with right now. In that is the pain that you try to drink away, that you try to smoke away, that you try to sleep away, right? Some people in so much pain is unfortunate, it's really sad, but some people are in so much pain that they get to a point in life where they feel like there's no way to overcome this. There's no way to really deal with this. They don't think it's a solution. They think nothing could change. They don't think it's going to get better. They don't think they're going to grow, evolve. They don't think it's possible to really overcome this thing that they're battling with. So they end up taking themselves out. They end up getting to a point where they take themselves out. And it's really sad, man. It's really sad. A lot of that has been going sky high. A lot of times y'all thinking a lot of these self-deletions that's been going on, a lot of people assume that it's about finances. A lot of people assume that, it's about financial struggles, but a lot of times it's mental health. I remember y'all remember the actor, I think his name was Robin, what's the comedian? Robin Williams, I think it was. Was that the comedian? Amazing actor, amazing comedic actor. That dude is amazing, funny as hell. All his movies are good. And he got to a point where he was so depressed and alone and still battling all these traumas and insecurities from his past that even though he's on top of the world and making all these movies and he's funny as hell and getting awards and making all this money on red carpets and doing all this stuff, but it's like he's still battling trauma, still battling the abuse from his childhood, still battling self-worth issues, insecurities. And they end up taking themselves out through overdose, through some of them jump off of somewhere, through, taking a weapon and, you know what I mean? And it's sad because it's like, yo, how are you this great and amazing person? How you making all this money? How you getting all this attention? You making all these movies. You're in the spotlight. You're established in your life. You could go on vacation anytime you want to, but you still battling all this trauma. You're still battling all these dark spaces in your life. You're still going through abuse, right? What's going on? That's because we go into the world and we trying to do the best we can as adults, but we still haven't evaluated ourselves and really try to face and overcome these traumas, the abuse that still affects how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. Because to me, the most important thing in life, money go up and down. You're going to make friends. You're going to lose some people that you should lose, that, you know what I'm saying? Things, you're always going to go through these phases. But the most important thing that's going to sustain you in your life is how you feel about yourself. Life, a lot of life is about feelings, right? Everybody want to feel happy, but I'd rather be at peace. But happiness is like an ultimate high, you know what I'm saying? Some people feel sad. Some people are in depression, and that's why our finances get messed up too, because how we feeling affects how we purchase, right? So if you're not feeling good about yourself, you could try to overspend or spend and splurge and shop to compensate for the lack of value that you feel in yourself by trying to get value from somebody else or from a store, or you know what I'm saying? You'll try to make yourself feel better by splurging. You'll try to make yourself feel better by eating a bunch of food and you get obese. You'll try to make yourself feel better, you know what I'm saying, by doing crazy things to get attention. But it really it damages us more than it helps us. So if you carry around these feelings from the trauma of your past, from a lot of it again is from your family that try to dim your light, that try to break you, that try to make you feel insecure. Because the thing is, a lot of people see your value, but they don't want you to see it. They hope that you never saw your value because they know the moment you woke up and you realized your value, you wouldn't need them and they wouldn't have power over you. And then you could go out to the world and be successful, which is what they didn't want you to do. A lot of people feared your success. They feared your rise, right? So the dismissal, the abuse, the rejection, sometimes you've been humiliated, right? The things, the hurtful things people will say to you in relationships, the breakups, whatever. A lot of this stuff can compound and accumulate. And before you know it, you know what I'm saying? You depressed, you sad, you're in a place where you want to take yourself out. That's because you still haven't dealt with these issues. And a lot of it comes from your family. But once you get to a point where you start to deal with these things, you realize, you wake up like, yo, none of this is true. All these things that were said about me that, you're nothing. Some of y'all been told that you ugly. Some of y'all been told that you'll never amount to anything in life. I've been told that a lot. Some of y'all been told that you stupid or you're dumb or you're weak or you're this and you're that. These people around you, they try to break you down. They try to break your spirit. So now you walk around feeling insecure about yourself. But if you could overcome that and take a step back, remove yourself from negative people and look at yourself in the mirror and say like, nah, none of that stuff is true. And you start to work and gain success and start to build yourself up, you're like, oh shit, they was lying the whole time. You'll realize that all of it was a lie. You'll realize that these people were just trying to break you down. They were trying to, this was all an attempt to dim your light because they saw you had the ability and the potential to become really successful in life. Again, they envied that. They were jealous of that. They resented that. So before you could become that, they wanted you to be in complete doubt. They wanted you to have all this doubt about yourself. They wanted you to walk around insecure because they didn't want you to realize how great and amazing and how phenomenal you are, right? When you get to that place, when you see yourself, when you stop seeing yourself for how people see you and you start seeing yourself for how God sees you, your whole life will change. Your whole self-image will change, your identity, right? You'll start to get your power back and you start moving in the world with all this confidence and you start accomplishing things and fulfilling your dreams and living in your passions or being successful or whatever it is that you're doing. And this is going to shatter and destroy the people that tried to break you. Nah, they messed up. That's how it backfires. But you got to become strong enough to take a step back and look at yourself and see that all the shit that they were saying about you was a lie, right? But then it backfires, man. It backfires. Now they lose control. Now they lose the power. Now you become the very thing that they work so hard to prevent you from becoming. So now you at peace with yourself. You healed because you realize all the abuse that you've been going through the whole time was a lie. It was all based off of lies, bro. They were lying the whole time. None of that stuff is true. You not ugly, you pretty. You beautiful. Handsome, whatever, right? You're not dumb, stupid, incompetent. Look at you went through school. You graduated. You in school right now. Getting A's. And you like, wait a minute, how am I this smart? How am I this successful? But before, my own family was treating me like I was nothing. And some of y'all end up surpassing your family. Some of y'all end up surpassing the people, the peers, people in your childhood who dismissed you or who told you that you'll never amount to nothing in life. And now you can see everything for what it really is, that they were wrong. And now you get to be right. See, when you start to overcome these things, right? And you get to a point where say you overcame it and you start establishing yourself and really understand that all of it was lies. You start becoming really successful. Don't go back. Don't even look back. Why would you go? I understand, like, when you grow from these experiences, you tell yourself sometimes, like, I'm stronger and I'm strong enough to go back to these people and not let them affect me or not let them hurt me or not let them undermine me or try to lower me again. That's a mistake. A lot of times when you go back, you're giving these people an opportunity to finish the job. Some of them want to finish the job. They want to finish destroying you. They want to finish breaking you. They want you to come back around so they can finish sabotaging you. Right? Don't do it. Don't go back. Live the rest of your life in peace. Live the rest of your life being around people that are giving you positive energy. You know, you want to cut off and remove as much as negativity as you can, because people could bring you down. And you don't want to, you've made so much progress to move on and to build yourself from all these traumatic experiences from the abuse. Why would you then go back to your abuser? Why are you trying to prove something? Don't be going back to your abuser. Don't be going back to the people that hurt you. Life is too short to be going back living in the past when your present and your future is so amazing. The things that you have in front of you, the life that you built for yourself, right? The new friends and relationships that you have, they're too great to be going back in the past dealing with the people that hurt you, because a lot of them people don't deserve it. And, in terms of like warfare, they really gonna be mad because it's like they did so much to try to break you, but you overcame it. And then you realize what they were trying to do. You realize the tactic of why they were abusing you, why they were degrading you, why they were talking down to you and telling you that you nothing, you won't be nothing, why they were blaming you for everything in the family. You'll realize, oh, this was all a strategy. This is all a tactic to beat you down and blame you for everything because nobody else want to hold themselves accountable. You got to stay away from them type of people, man. And you deserve better than that too. You deserve to be around people that really have good intentions towards you, aren't trying to, gaslight you by undermining you or mistreating you. And it's sad that in the world that we live in, your own family will be the ones to do the most to hurt you. Your own family could be the ones to try to destroy you before you even get a chance to go out there in the world. And, a lot of times, man, this is heavy in the Black community with Black men. I meet a lot of brothers nowadays. This conversation gonna keep on evolving, y'all. A lot of brothers are done. Me included. Black men are done. And a lot of these environments are led by female-dominated family units. Not saying they're dominated by women. I'll say most of the people in the family are occupied by women. Most of the family is just women. It's just what it is. And because of that, you get subjected to all type of stuff. Women too, the little girls too, but the men, they get talked down to. You get told you ain't shit, you ain't never gonna be shit. You get dismissed. You get subjected to a role where people just think you're just supposed to be when you're around, it's just to be used. Your value as a man isn't just to be used. Do this, do that. Go do this, take this out. Go here and do this. And it's like you're not allowed to be a human. It's like the only time you're valuable is when you're doing something for somebody, picking something up, doing this, doing that, help with somebody. Why you just can't be? I'm not saying to justify being lazy, or I'm not saying a man shouldn't be um, providing and protecting and helping and leading and all these different things. But it's like, it's not even, you're not even in that position. You're not even being respected as a leader or as a man that has those responsibilities. It's like you just get subjected to just almost like a slave, bro. I just got to keep it a buck. This is heavy in the black community. You get talked down to, and you get told that it's like women are superior, and as a man you're inferior, and you get mistreated in the family, while the females a lot of times get pedestalized and worshiped and encouraged and helped and supported, and you get nothing but a lot of times abuse, being degraded, talked down to. You see what I'm saying? And it can affect young men's self-esteem. It can affect their masculinity, right? It can affect their abilities to move and do things in the world, to build healthy relationships, because they don't even have a positive self-identity. They don't even see themselves in a positive light. So how can they create positive relationships with others? Or how can they see other people in a positive light? Right? So a lot of men are done, because it's like, in these spaces and family units growing up, it's like you just get treated like crap. And then you see the elders a lot of times, they're in the same situation. The men, the brothers, to where they've been raised the same way. A lot of them are simps. No matter how much they're dismissed or neglected, they still pedestalize the women. Like, where's your self-respect, bro? Where's your honor? Where's your self-worth as a man? Where's your masculinity? That you sit around people and even women and tolerate all type of disrespect. And it's like, no, as a man, you're valuable too. It's unfortunate that that happens. I see a lot of brothers saying they're pretty much done. A lot of people in general I see on YouTube talking about how they're no longer talking to their family. They're no longer talking to their parents because of all the abuse that they've been through. And it's supposed to be normalized. It's supposed to be, it is what it is. We went through this. This is how we was raised. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? So you mean to tell me I'm sitting here and I got to tolerate all this BS because it is what it is with the family? That's crazy. That's insane. And nobody should have to tolerate that. Nobody should have to just deal with that and just keep rolling with it and normalizing it as, oh, this is just my family. Like, nah, just because somebody in your family don't mean they get to talk to you any kind of way. Just because somebody in your family don't mean they get the right to abuse you. Just because somebody in your family don't mean they have the right to manipulate and sabotage. And then you let them back in. Just because somebody in your family don't mean that they just get to neglect you. But at the same time, you're always supposed to be emotionally available to them, attentive to them, helpful to them when you get neglected. Man. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And a lot of times that's why you're the scapegoat. That's a crazy thing about it. Everything I'm saying right now is why a lot of times I realize why I feel like my family don't fuck with me. Like, why you always being mistreated? Why, as a child, you were being like ignored and abused? And why? Because they see these very qualities about you right now. They see these qualities in you right now. As the scapegoat, the reason why you were scapegoated is because you were willing to tell the truth. A lot of y'all are lions and lionesses in the family. You're not the type of person just to go along to get along. When you see messed up family dynamics, when you see messed up patterns in the family, in the relationships, in the abuse, and like everybody kind of just tucks their tail and just walks on eggshells and just keeps it pushing, you're willing to see the truth and speak up on it. So a lot of times your family would try to abuse you as a way to kick you down, to keep you quiet. They try to destroy your voice. They try to break your voice. They try to make sure you didn't have a voice, because as long as you had a voice, you could talk up on and speak up on the things that you see in a family. The abuse, the things that we haven't dealt with, that we sitting down eating all this food, Thanksgiving, Christmas, but nobody's talking about the real issues. Nobody's talking about the physical abuse with this person. Nobody's talking about the trauma. Nobody's talking about how we don't come together and deal with our issues, but we still come to these functions and party and act like nothing going on. But you're scapegoated because you're willing to see the truth and speak upon the truth, right? You willing to call out the bullshit. You're the courageous one in your family. A lot of y'all are the strongest link. Everybody in the family might normalize the trauma, and that's why they're favored, because they keep the family stabilized and it keeps people from being held accountable. So when they not speaking up, oh, it's cool. We like this person. We celebrate them because they are they're going along to get along. They're not holding us accountable. They're not bringing up the issues in the family. They're not bringing up the abuse. They're not saying anything. So we like them because they're keeping the peace. So we don't have to address these issues. We don't have to hold each other accountable. We don't have to say nothing. We don't have to change our ways and trying to be better because this person and that person, they in the family, they're not even saying anything. But as a scapegoat, the reason why you're targeted, the reason why you're abused, the reason why you're treated in this dismissive, we don't see you, we don't care about you way, is all a tactic to discourage you because they feel like if you get too involved, if you get too strong, if you get too confident, you're going to stand up against the family abuse, these unhealthy, toxic family dynamics. You're going to say something. You're going to call people out. Nobody want to be called out. An abuser or somebody that's wrong or doing you wrong, they never want to be called out. That's the last thing they want. They never want to be called out and they never want to be exposed. They never want to be called out and they never want to be exposed, yo. You know what I'm saying? They never want nobody to say nothing. They want to just bring people along that's going to go along to get along. They don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be told that they're wrong. They don't want people to see that they're wrong. It's one thing to be wrong. It's another thing to be exposed. A lot of them know what they're doing is wrong, but when other people see, when people around the family, when even people in the community know what's going on, they hate that because it exposes the cruelty, the evil things that they're doing behind the scenes. It exposes it. So they'll do everything they can to keep you quiet, to shun you, or to shame you, or to keep on with the abuse. A lot of y'all, man, your family is toxic. Toxic as hell. And it affects some people more than others. A lot of people right now are dealing with these issues around the holidays, and it's crazy. It's crazy. You kind of, it pisses a lot of people off. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to address it. You know you really can't address it sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta be bold. Either being bold by speaking up or being bold by removing yourself. You gotta be strong. Because if you sit in the abuse of your own family or relationships that you had in the past, it's just going to keep getting worse. It's going to compound. And it's going to get in the way of your life. And before you know it, you look back and you realize you lost so much time tolerating being around abusive, toxic relationships because you're afraid of being alone. You're afraid of survival, of not being able to survive. A lot of people tolerate abuse because they're afraid that if they go by themselves, they're not going to be able to survive. They're afraid they're not going to have the relationships and resources with these people to make it. So we're afraid of being alone because of survival. Human beings are, we're tribal creatures. So a lot of people are afraid of being alone. because they're afraid, you know what I'm saying, they're not going to make it. You know, a lot of people, they get so much, a lot of people that really don't have the energy that they think they have. A lot of people run off of other people's energy. That's why people hang in packs, because y'all able to validate each other. Y'all able to hype each other up. And if you don't have those people around you, you feel that same energy ain't there, the same level of confidence ain't there, right? You're not doing you're not doing the things that you normally do because you don't have those same people around you to spark you up, to encourage you, to, you know what I'm saying? People feed off of other people's energy. A lot of people don't have the ability to generate energy on their own, to build, to have confidence by themselves. A lot of people confidence is based off of validation and approval from other people. And if they don't have that validation, they'll crumble. So that's why we're afraid to be alone. That's why we sit there. That's why we tolerate it, because we're afraid of not being able to make it. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When I got alone, when I really cut off, it's courageous to do, but really necessary. When you gotta, I was never really afraid of being alone because I spent so much time alone throughout my life. Again, you're scapegoated. In these relationships, you're rejected. You're not accepted. You're made to feel like an outcast, like something wrong with you, like you don't fit in, right? But you were never meant to. You were meant to lead. So instead of being the follower or the one that's accepted, you become the one that people are trying to be like now, because these situations transform you. And when you get by yourself, when you really let go of all these unhealthy relationships, these toxic environments, these people that really ain't serving you, they just probably using you. Some of y'all just being used for your energy. A lot of people can't make it without you. But once you get by yourself, you're able to find out who you are, because you have nobody else around you to shape, or I don't want to say shape. You don't have nobody around you to keep you in this false identity that they created for you. When you really find out who you are, you start leading. You start building community. You start becoming the one people want to be like. You start really building yourself up, because you start building yourself up from the truth, not from these false narratives people put on you. You start throwing away all the negativity that was fed to you from your family, from your upbringing, from your peers even. You start healing from these traumatic experiences. Right? And the isolation, if you strong, could teach you how to love yourself. Teach you, you can help yourself learn so many things, learn skills, build a career, build business. So many great things actually came from me being alone and removing myself from people that I kind of felt like I had to be around to make it. Now I'm making it without being, you making it without being around them. Your life you get to improve your life when you finally let go of the people that you thought you needed. And that's it. They wanted you in that space where you felt like you needed them. The only thing you needed was yourself and God, especially the Most High. God gonna take care of you, because God always, God is the omnipresent, always seeing, always knowing. I truly believe that. I feel like nothing we do in the universe gets unnoticed. I feel like everything is seen, everything is felt. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. There has to be there's awareness in you, right? You see everything, so there's awareness in the universe. So you'll start to get certain blessings because the Most High see you. He'll see the abuse. He'll see the things that was done to you. And you'll start to get help along the way. Some of y'all got spiritual teams. We all do. You got teams around you helping you through the things that you're going through. And they see that you've been going through a lot of injustice, a lot of abuse, that it start to give you justice. A lot of great and positive things will start unfolding for you because you're being, all these wrongs are being, God will start to right the wrong. The universe will start shifting things in your favor when you're in alignment, when you operate off of that high frequency and vibration, because you're no longer around negativity. So naturally, your vibration is going to go up. You're going to feel at peace. You're going to feel good. You're not going to be walking around feeling abused because you no longer have those people around you abusing you. So you just got to be strong and walk away, or stand up to them people and tell them where to go and just cut people off. Life too short to be around people. As we get into 2026, life is too short to be in relationships where there's no reciprocation, where you're feeding or giving your energy to people and you're not really getting the same thing in return. Where you're in relationships where you're just tolerating abuse or disrespect, where you're being drained, you're giving your energy to people, but you're feeling drained in return. You feel like you're giving more than you're receiving. Nah, be a giver now. I mean, not a giver, but be a receiver now. You've gave so much. It's time that you enjoy being a receiver. I'm not saying you should never give again, but you got to really give yourself those boundaries to make sure that you're receiving as much as you're giving. And anybody that think they're going to come into your life because they see everything you have and just take and take and take, and they're not really giving as much as you're giving, remove them. Because you're going to always be receiving from the universe, even if you're not receiving from them. And that's what they're afraid of. A lot of people saw a lot of gifts in you. They saw your potential. They saw your intelligence. They saw your bright light, but they tried to dim it. They tried to dim it so that you won't realize your worth. So they could take advantage of that, exploit that, use you. So that you'll start to doubt yourself and go down this hole of insecurities so that you'll never rise into your power. How you gonna rise into your power when you have low self-worth? How you gonna be functioning and be healthy, but you got these insecurities about yourself that people projected onto you and you haven't dealt with them? So the most important thing to really move forward is to have your mind right, so that you could be thinking the right way to make the right moves to really go up and excel and to create healthier and better relationships, to grow in all these different areas of your life because your mind is right. These people, whoever they are, your family, peers, past friends, relationships that you was in with a woman or with a man, a lot of these people, they try to attack your mind. They try to get you right up here. They try to break this. Because if you don't have this, this is the most strongest and powerful tool that you have in the universe, is the mind. If you don't have that,